Putin says it's a declaration of war, this involvement. What does that mean for the UK and the United States? Will Russia now be at war with them?
If United States and Great Britain are now directly taking part in war against Russia, it means that all militaries of US and Great Britain are becoming legitimate goals for the Russian military. So on as a first step, we can say that some of the probably intelligence aviation jet could be crashed by Russian army. And some of the satellite of United States, Great Britain also could be attacked and could be crashed. On the next stage,
are you saying
probably,
that the United Kingdom is now a target for Russia?
United Kingdom now not target yet, because these attacks of the Storm Shadow didn't happen yet. If Storm Shadow will attack Russian territory with participation of British officers and American officers, Great Britain will put own militaries as legitimate goals, targets for the Russian militaries automatically. If you decided to kill us, we have to protect ourselves.
Target.
Shalom, Yashar Allah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Chakwaдаsh. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful Lektakim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I wanted to do this lesson based on an update on what's going on with the approval of the Biden administration to use ATACMS missiles, as well as the United Kingdom's government's and France's government's decision to use their long-range distance missiles, Storm Shadow and the Scalp, deep inside Russian territory. And so this news article came out yesterday, but today it actually was confirmed that the United Kingdom did use their Storm Shadow missiles to shoot inside Russia. So they have become now a target, as this Russian media press spokesperson said. So as we can see that this is something that is escalating the war, because, there's a lot of things of speculation that's going on with why Biden used to approve this weapon at the end of his term, when he promised that he would give Trump, a peaceful transition, which in the state of an all-out war, in this case, World War III breaking out, the transition of presidency would not happen. The elections would not happen, because whether an enemy is attacking in the midst of United States getting attacked or a whole war going out, then this would mean that we would be at war. And even if Russia shoots down one satellite of the United States, the United States would go to war over that, because I wanted to point the fact that even though Ukraine, and I did a lesson on this before, even though Ukraine is the one now using the missiles, it is only, let me repeat, only the United States military personnel that can actually navigate and use United States military satellites to navigate where these missiles go. So only United States military personnel can even use the machines that are able to shoot these missiles, and only United States military personnel satellites can link to these missiles to help them navigate on targets. So it is a direct partnership with United States military personnel officers, by them allowing them to use our advanced missiles that shoot over a longer distance than just like an artillery shell or something that's fired from a tank, that we have been given them, because, this is a major escalation. And at the same time, and I'll get the scriptures on this, because I wanted to say that this is in a response, Russia's response to this is them upgrading their nuclear arms treaty to show that, here's just a couple titles. It says, Putin fine-tunes Russia's nuclear doctrine after Biden's arms decision on Ukraine. And I want to get this Reuters article. This is Putin issues warning to United States. So like I'm trying to pause this. Putin issues warning to United States that new nuclear doctrine. And this came out today. Because this happened after. Continue. Where's this? Well, I'll just start from the top. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday lowered the threshold for a nuclear strike in response to a border range of conventional attacks. The Moscow said Ukraine had struck deep inside Russia with U.S.-made ATACMS missiles. And then also the Storm Shadow missile was used, but I don't see that being mentioned here. We'll see that out in the next couple of days, but here I'll even put it. Storm Shadow missiles used on Russia. Look, Ukraine fires British long-range missiles into Russia. This is 4 hours ago, so I was seeing this, and it's not just, fake news, but this is Ukraine fires UK-made Storm Shadow missiles at Russia for first time, which this greatly escalates the war of the United States and the UK directly being involved. That's why I said that their satellites would become attacked. Here, this is what it is.
And some of the satellite of United States, Great Britain also could be attacked. And
there it is. So they're saying openly that, yeah, we will shoot down your satellites, because you don't think the Russian knows what satellites they're using to navigate, what satellites are civilian, what satellites are military. They know these things, man. Esau is working together, even though it looks like they're working against each other. This is all part of the plan. This is all according to prophecy. But ultimately, I'm just speculating, but this could be a good reason why Revelation 17, another way that Revelation 17 could come to pass, because we know that what's going to cause America to be destroyed is also the beast hating the whore. These other nations, because of the bad decisions that, Babylon the Great has forced them into, that, I could see Russia bullying around the UK and France saying, yeah, we're going to fucking destroy you. But if you don't destroy Babylon the Great over there, they're not going to say that. But if you don't shoot missiles over this direction, we're going to shoot missiles towards your direction. Okay, boom. And then the beast shall hate the whore, which are the bottomless pit countries, mainly over there in Europe, that make up the NATO alliance, which is in these two cases that I'm talking about would be UK and France, which are one of the heads of the beast. But I'm going to get to these scriptures, because it'll explain it perfectly. But bear with me, I'm going to go into this, and, because this is exactly what's going to happen. Ultimately, every Edomite that's not a part of Babylon the Great ultimately is going to be taken out. But they are going to be used in prophecy to destroy each other. Just be like we know nowadays, European countries are mainly Edomite strongholds. Russia, over there, Edomite strongholds. Them fighting against each other right now, but they're ultimately going to gang up together and go after that great whore. And this is Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me. And this is the Apostle John on the island of Patmos as he was receiving these visions. And talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And this is talking about Babylon the Great, i.e. America. Verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That's her philosophies. The wine of her fornication is their doctrines. Their democracy, their light beer and blue jeans and LGBTQ and mama, papa are no more. It's they, them. It's they, them. It's it and legion. I am they, them, which is fucking multiple ass different personalities on one person. Anyways, the fact of all this bullshit the United States pushes throughout the world saying, yeah, this is the lifestyle you got to live to be happy. Wrong. And the world is going to realize the negative effects of living that lifestyle is your women turn to whores, your children turn into little rebellious ass fucking rugrats, man, running around thinking they own the place, man. We see the effect not just on the curses of our people, the Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but these other people see how women are now stepping against them. They all of a sudden want the things that the women in America want, and the whole time they're in fucking the United Arab Emirates, where women can't even have a license, man. Causing disorder in another country because of that wine that Babylon the Great has caused these other countries to think that this is the true definition of freedom, by having your people live this certain way, which is a degrading lifestyle based on their ancestral ways that they did, even though they're fucking heathens, whatever, nations are suffering these things. But the point being is that it's the wrong way to live. Whoever is teaching you and whoever is getting it taught by. So if you're teaching a heathen to do bad, even though they can't sin, it's still a bad lifestyle. And ultimately, all the nations are going to be under our laws, statutes, and commandments in the kingdom of heaven. But as for this time, it is Babylon's the Great, so-called world that they have their chance to spill their doctrine all over the place and, gain control over these nations. This is verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Verse 2, and this is, the picture that the elders and apostles have since distributed, with the so-called, woman in a red dress, riding that red dragon with 7 heads. That's a description of an animal, a beast, like as the scripture, says, but it's actually symbolic to different nations and who's controlling that beast, which would be Babylon the Great, i.e. America. This is verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, which is like colors of royalty, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Again, those are the examples that I listed, their lifestyles that they choose to push on these other nations, expecting them to live that way. Verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And this is a mystery back then when the apostle John wrote it down, because it was his lot to receive the visions and write them down, but he didn't fully understand them. He didn't fully understand what they are today. It is the prophets, which are the same spirit of Apostle John, wherever he is, doing the prophesying and breaking down exactly who Babylon the Great is, which would be America, straight point blank, period. That is what it is. There's no other breakdown to who the Babylon the Great is, but obviously the prophet John only received and understood what he was given. It is in our time to break down and extrapolate what the charagma is, what it means to that this is going on the heavens, which is the satellites, the phones, the unicorn, this is going out on all the world 24/7. We understand what that means. This is verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, which is the Israelites, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So the Apostle John, the apostles always like to get funny. Hey, he got a little aroused, man. Like, damn, he saw her and wandered. You're looking at somebody, you're like, whoa, with great admiration. Where you're like, wow, that's really like, wow. And then the angel almost had to snap him out of it. This is verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? It's like asking questions like, what? Why were you liking what you're looking at? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. It was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is over there in Europe, because the beginning of America was started by what country? Great Britain. And Great Britain came over here to the Americas, and then the colonies started, and now we know as America, even though, the financial sector is still over there in London, continuing. And go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. And so these are all the people that are actually going to go after this type of lifestyle and be wondered by, like, oh man, this is the way to go, because their name is not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, which means they were not spirits created to receive mercy at all. So I wanted to jump ahead because ultimately the point, like I said, is, UK, France, and that beast is going to fold under the pressure of being completely destroyed. Because first and foremost, it's not prophecy for the bottomless pit to be destroyed. Not to say some might not land over there. The chariots are definitely going to go fucking snatch Edomites up over there. But the point being is that the prophecy has to be fulfilled that Babylon the Great's allies, i.e. the seven heads, are going to turn against her, and shoot that bitch. This is Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Because, Babylon the Great is what they call a mixing pot. A lot of different nationalities, a lot of cultures, a lot of religions, a lot of fucking confusion. Land of confusion in this place. This is verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Exactly what you would do under the law if you were a Levite and your daughter was found being a harlot in the streets. She was burnt at the stake, man, and fucking judged right then and there, man. And that's why this place is going to be a great sacrifice. Like the scripture says, there's a great sacrifice. The Lord have a great sacrifice in Bozrah. This is verse 17. I want to continue and finish this. For the power, for Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the power shall be fulfilled. Because prophecy must be fulfilled first and foremost. So this place has to get on the level that it did. It had to be destroyed as it did, because the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai do not go out void. And that's why this is very crucial of Revelation 17 to understand who the great whore is and who the other nations are. For you to understand why the things are happening in the world today, in the fact that, Russia, media spokesperson declares that Russia is directly at war with UK and US after Biden's decision. So Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. We're going to stay posted and keep this situation, under watch as the watchmen do, because, hey, man, Lord willing, it only gets worse from here. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.